And then Ryan Clark, okay.
And so this is one of the lies he told on me. He said I walked by him. I ain't walking by no fucking body.
I watched you dap him.
But so I walk up to him and I look him in his eye and I shake his hand. Because to me, there's an opportunity to tell me we are no longer cool or we have a problem.
Hey, what's going on YouTube? In today's video, we got another Brandon Marshall video again today, guys. This should be a good one because Ryan Clark had broke his silence about the I Am Athlete, the Pivot podcast beef. And Ryan Clark is sick of it because Brandon Marshall had made some comments about Ryan Clark on Cam Newton's podcast. Keep in mind, guys, when the beef was unfolding between Brandon Marshall and his former co-host Fred Taylor and Channing Crowder, Ryan Clark, he stayed out of it. So he was really just thrown off that Brandon Marshall dissed him on Cam Newton's podcast. I did a video breaking down Fred Taylor and Channing Crowder comments. If you guys missed that video, I'll have the link to that down below, or it should be popping up at the end of today's video. But with that being said, guys, let's get into the comments that Brandon Marshall made about Ryan Clark. Here's a clip right here.
Fred Taylor, I don't have anything good to say about Fred Taylor.
No, don't say that. Don't say that, bro.
Well, all right, then Ryan Clark. Okay, like Ryan Clark, why I did this to Ryan Clark like that. For a year, I was talking to Ryan Clark about his podcast that he doesn't have time to do that no more because he got a lot of motion. He's doing a lot of things right now. But he had a podcast and I'm like, yo, bro, that could be on I Am Athlete. Do you own that or do ESPN own that? I own that. He was thinking about even open up House of Athlete in Arizona. I never told this part of the story, but like, yo, bro, I've been praying about this. My wife said this and that because our relationship, but like, I try to stay out of it, but I'm gonna go do this with the pivot, blah, 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 blah. But for a year, I'm hitting you up like, yo, bro, like, bring your podcast to I Am Athlete. You coming to me about taking House of Athlete to Arizona, to Phoenix. I put you on I Am Athlete. Right? Not saying that Ryan Clark is Ryan Clark, right? So I'm not saying like I started, you know what I mean? I think he's talented. Little corny, but talented. Bro, you said it's Funky Friday, bro.
Keep it funky.
Okay,
but
cut that. Maybe not.
No, we're not gonna cut it. We're gonna keep it running.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what Brandon Marshall had to say about Ryan Clark. He had called Ryan Clark corny, and Ryan Clark went off on that man. We have a tweet, and also we have a video. So let me get the tweet out the way, and this is what Ryan Clark had to say on Twitter. He said, I've stayed away from the I Am Athlete conversations because they weren't mine to have. I've even let falsehood stand in order to take the high road. I felt there was enough space for the both of us. Brandon, I let you lie on my name because your words don't affect me. Let's be clear though. I've looked you in your eyes every single time I've seen you. I approached you like a man. I showed you respect for our previous relationship, made me feel you deserved it until you threw a rock and you hid your hand. At Mo Knows can attest. No need to address you calling me corny. The shows I host, the respect my work brings, and the love for those who support me are what I focus on. Still, you and I know who's on the right side of the ascension right now. We are going to keep doing us. I pray you find your way. As I told you on the phone when I called you over a year and a half ago, we can both win. Okay, so that's the tweet that Ryan Clark had put out about Brandon Marshall. And we also have a clip of Ryan Clark talking about Brandon Marshall as well. So let's check out Ryan Clark clearing the air on the Pivot podcast. Let's check it out right here.
Be sure to hit that like button for me if you haven't already. That helps this YouTube channel continue to grow. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, stay up to date with all of my current YouTube videos. Peace.
And so from there, you know, he kind of tells me he's hurt and all those things. And say, I understand. I was like, look, I'm still supposed to come down and train the DBs, the House of Athlete. Do I need to find you somebody else? Right? And so this is one of the lies he told on me. He said I walked by him. I ain't walking by no fucking body.
I watched you dap him.
But so I walk up to him and I look him in his eye and I shake his hand. Because to me, there's an opportunity to tell me we are no longer cool or we have a problem. Walk up to him, shake his hand, I think everything's good. So for weeks, I'm on Zoom calls teaching these DBs. I don't have time for Zoom calls to not be getting paid for them. But with an understanding we had with him and an understanding I had with Mo, I do that. Then it's time for me to go down and train him. And he sends his assistant down, doesn't come down himself, doesn't call me to tell Mo that he doesn't want me in the building. So now you've let me know indirectly, passive aggressively, that we have an issue. Even after that, man, every time he would say something about me or his new partners would say something about me, I'd take the high road. He ain't talking about you if this sucks.
Bingo.
He ain't talking about you if this ain't good. It's hard to have to admit that it's phenomenal. It's hard to have to admit that this was my vision for what I was doing, but I'm not a good enough person to get it there.
Drop the damn ball.
Okay, that's what Ryan Clark had to say about Brandon Marshall on the Pivot Podcast, guys. Get in the comment section down below. I would love to hear your thoughts about today's video. Don't forget to like the video if you made this far in the video as well. That really does help support the YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe up as well if you're new to the channel. Comment down new sub if you're a new sub over here. I'll catch you guys on the next video, and we out, guys. Peace.